Welcome to Modern Stoic Insights. You're in the correct spot if you've ever been emotionally destroyed by a lady who deceived and cheated on you, and you're sitting there wondering what in the world you're going to do with it all. When someone you dedicated your heart to turns around and stomps on it, how do you respond? It's more than simply a quarrel or disappointment. It's that subtle betrayal that leaves you feeling numb rather than screaming. This is about how a guy with depth and stoicism handles sorrow with presence, clarity, and courage. It is neither a sympathy party nor a plot for revenge. Let's begin with the aspect that most guys find difficult, the intense need for resolution, the part where you're trying to figure out why she did it at 3 a.m. Was I insufficient? Is she even considering me? You need your power back and don't need her excuses. That's the brutal Stoic truth. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. What you do with it is entirely up to you. You have no influence over what she did." I will call my pal. Jake was a total wreck by the end. Some individuals don't behave rationally. Instead, they act out of sorrow, boredom, fear, or just plain selfishness. He continued reading previous letters as if they were holy scriptures, looking for patterns or hints that might make sense, but they never did. Jake was an intelligent, sensitive man who fell in love with a lady who played him like a violin, then vanished, then reappeared, and then left him again. The Stoic man sits with the storm, feels every drop of rain, and stays still rather than seeking for a story to lift his spirits. He asks himself whether he wants to change, if he wants answers or serenity, or if he wants her to explain. Control is the power to stop relying on other people to validate your misery and to select the kind of man you want to be as a consequence of it. Most strong men make a mistake here. They pretend it didn't hurt, distract themselves by going to the gym, work, or casual hookups, or do whatever else to keep from feeling it. Despite their efforts to seem indifferent and put on the mask, the agony persists and becomes more resentful. You have to work for closure. She doesn't give it to you. Anger trust issues, and you know where that goes, into the next woman's heart, the one who didn't even hurt you. This is what true strength looks like. I remember when I was burned, not just emotionally, but spiritually. I loved her in a way that felt pure and vulnerable, the kind of love that makes you rethink your entire life, and she destroyed it. I didn't cry for weeks, so I just shut down. But one night by myself, I felt clean because grief is cleansing, but only if you allow it to run through you. The Stoic doesn't fear pain. Instead, he befriends it and lets it teach him where his boundaries are. He listens to it like a signal flare from his soul, and the pain you're feeling right now isn't weakness. It's evidence that you loved deeply, that you showed up fully, and that you risked something real. So don't numb it or drown it. Write about it. Take a stroll with it. If necessary, scream into the night, but avoid being the source of the suffering. Rebuild the man, because when you become it, you cede control to her, which is not stoicism, but self-abandonment. 3. Rebuild the man. The dream wasn't. It gets powerful at this point. As the dust settles and the fire stops burning through your chest, there is a pause that signifies a sea change in your life. At this point, most guys either grow cynical and think all women are the same, or they attempt to win her back by finding a new version of her. But the Stoic guy rebuilds himself because he remembers who the heck he is. You were a full man before she arrived, and you will be a wiser man when she leaves. rather than to gain her favor or seek retribution. Now is the moment to be honest. What did I learn about my blind spots from my collaboration with Get Honest? Where did I sacrifice my beliefs to keep her around? And what personal matters did I ignore because I was so focused on her? Rebuilding is about returning to the basics, not about flaunting yourself on Instagram. Instead of working out to look good, get up early and do it to restore discipline. Learn to be stoic by reading Find Your Values and Emotions. Your male energy journal is essential to your life because it emotionally links you with strong men. One last thing, give up on your aspirations. Iron sharpens iron. It's okay that neither you nor she were flawless, but don't let the past become a narrative of unfulfilled love. If you were to polish a rusty sword to make it seem gleaming, it would still shatter in combat. Maybe in a few months, you'll look back and see that she didn't destroy you, but rather that she showed you that grounded, focused version of yourself. Rebuild for you, not for her ghost. Instead of chasing, hating, or breaking, he chooses to move more sharply and talk less. In times of distress, we feel compelled to write her again and tell her, "You don't understand what you've done to me," to try to get her to feel the same way we do. But let me tell you something. The most powerful message you can deliver is one of stillness and movement. The Stoic guy lets action speak for him. Instead of expressing your sorrow via text, show her your development and allow her to experience it in the space you leave behind. She trusts me, even if you think she doesn't notice. The modern man over-explains, posts, rants, and talks too much. Cato, the Roman Stoic, is said to have resigned from political office because his morals were more important than his ego. He didn't dispute when others sought to use words to retaliate. He just lived louder. That's your blueprint. Instead of saying things like, "I miss you," and "I've learned a lesson from your absence," you should talk less and move more adroitly, since you're here to transcend your grief, not to show it. You left me, but why? Let your absence be a teaching moment for your own growth. Convince her that I still love you. Let your discipline love you first. The next time you hover over the send button, ask yourself, is this for closure or is it for comfort? I'm not suggesting you shouldn't feel the urge to reach out. It's normal to want to. Because when a guy is doing anything, he doesn't text someone who broke him paragraphs. Instead, he creates barriers around his creation, become more methodical, deadly, and disciplined. Because he outgrown the version of himself that ever needed her, rather than because he sought her, he becomes memorable in the process. If you let it be, pain is the cost of power. Finally, let's admit that most men shun pain since it is unavoidable, and weakness is a choice. The Stoic guy is different from other men because he learns to utilize his sadness as fuel. You are here to use suffering, not to escape it. To be really honest, I didn't recover from the first injury. Transform your suffering into accuracy. I remained there and blamed her, women, and love because I believed that being wounded meant that I was damaged. This caused me to spiral, but I turned it around after realizing that if I continue to let the past to steal my future, it will continue to do so. I wondered what I was going to do with what she left behind rather than why she did what she did. I read more, meditated, rewrote my values, sharpened my mind, quit putting up with individuals who made me question my worth, and concentrated on becoming a guy who was so sure of himself that he couldn't be shattered twice. The cheat code is here. Convert your pain into precision each time it resurfaces. Every time you think about her, go to the gym. Write down what you've learned each time you feel like constructing anything other than a physique, talent, or ability. Jot down your insights, your vision, and let your pain teach you who you are. That type of power isn't loud. You weren't brought here to live with such clarity and purpose that the right people gravitate towards you and the bad ones can no longer reach you. It is accurate, calm, patient, and not petty. Stoic masculinity is that. You will never again seek emotional turmoil after tasting it. Outro: the serene return. So, if you're still here reading this, it tells me that you're not just looking for comfort, but for progress, which is rare. You're not alone, dude. Although many of us have gone through the kind of grief where you feel like a ghost in your own life, you don't have to remain there. You're just becoming, not broken or weak. Change your life after today if this video inspired you to take action. In any case, you have this and the version of yourself that is on the other side of this pain, and he's worth fighting for. If you want to go even deeper without any filters, censors, or holding back, join the members room where I share the unfiltered truth. The links below contain the stuff I can't drop here. See you at the next one.